Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I just got back from Alaska, so I'm on a different time zone. You know how it is when you travel. You kind of stay up at weird hours. So if you're listening live and wondering why I'm up in the middle of the night, it's because I'm still on Alaska time. Anyway, I've been thinking a lot about this Will Smith thing, this Will Smith Chris Rock thing, and I'm gonna tell you, Will Smith has a mess to clean up. I mean, a big mess. I was checking out Will Smith's YouTube channel. So Will Smith has a YouTube channel that has about 10 million subscribers, and I was really curious to see, what are the Will Smith fans saying about him, and because Chris Rock goes out and he performed in Boston, I believe, and got a standing ovation. Everybody treating him like a hero. He was seen as a survivor of an attack. So Chris Rock is doing good. Chris Rock is going to make a ton of money from what happened at the Oscars, the big slap and everything. Will has money, so I don't think Will's going to go broke or anything. But I was really fascinated by the way his fans have turned on him, and so I'm actually just going to read what I was looking at here. It's kind of crazy. So the first comment here on Will Smith's personal YouTube channel says, "Great role model, teaching kids it's okay to assault people who make fun of you and people who you care about. You can say you are one way and believe you are the same, but you are what your actions show. You convince the world you're a great person through acting, but you've shown your true self tonight, etc." And then somebody says, "Just so disappointed. I was a huge fan." The next comment I see is I'm reading them one by one. I'm gonna keep reading until I see a favorable comment. Like, keep your head up, keep going. You'll be all right. I didn't see none of that. Another comment says, "I solemnly take the oath that I won't buy any ticket for his movies in the future, and I will make sure nobody in my circle or approach pays for his shows." So another Will Smith fan says, "I'm sorry, Will Smith. You and your family are an example of people who are out of touch with reality and real family values. Your son's post after the Oscars just proves what kind of people you truly are." Then there's another one that says, "Disgusting behavior from someone who I have looked up to for a long time." So again, these are people that were Will Smith fans before, and that's what's really interesting, right? And it's one thing if your haters don't like you. That's natural. You always gonna have people out there that don't like what you do. But it's another thing when you have people that say, "Man, I used to love you. I used to think you were great. Now I think you're garbage." That's a different kind of energy. So let's see. Someone says, "Disgusting behavior from someone I looked up to for a long time. This made me realize how the world has put celebrities on the pedestal, then make them feel as though they are entitled to behave like this without any penalty. A person of lower status would have been dragged off stage and arrested after assaulting Chris Rock." Another one, Elaine says, "I'm in shock about the assault on Chris Rock. It's hard to believe someone can lose their temper in such a public setting. Hope this rage isn't also exhibited behind closed doors. Hopefully, Hollywood won't let this pass. No excuses whatsoever. I've lost all respect for Will Smith and couldn't see him in the same light ever again." Another one, "Slapping Chris was an effed up moment. Will, not even saying sorry when getting the award. Then proceed to telling love on your speech. What a world we have. My respect just went down." The next comment is, let's see here. His apology was the most PR stunty written thing I've ever seen. He had the perfect moment to do it when accepting his award, and he didn't. This man should be ashamed. He ruined the greatest moment of his own career because he lost control. He's an embarrassment and no longer the idol he's clearly trying to project himself as in these videos. It's all an act. And then the next person says, "I'm all for protecting your women, but you don't protect a woman who disrespects you all the time publicly and cheats on you. She don't deserve your protection. Have some self-respect. Being with her is destroying you and your life." Now, I don't know if you guys saw the video. I put a video up earlier that was really interesting. Like, when Will slapped Chris, did y'all see that video? Jada was laughing. Like, they showed her laughing. So I'm wondering if she thought it was a joke that he went up there. I don't know. That was real weird that she was laughing. And I heard somebody actually say that if Jada was really trying to be a supporter of him, she would have stopped him from. She would say, "No, don't do that." I can tell you, my wife. There's no way my wife would support me going up on stage and slapping somebody. There's no way she would be like, "Oh, thank you for protecting me." She'd be like, "Boys, what the hell are you doing?" And I'm not making fun of Jada or anything like that, but literally, my wife would be like, what kind of dude are you? I don't want to marry a man who's going to walk up on stage and slap somebody. I want a man who's going to handle his business, but not like he's 20 years old. And the other interesting thing about Will Smith and Chris Rock that really upsets me is you forget these guys are old. They're old compared to like, rappers and stuff. Like they're 53 and 57. Chris will be 60 years old in 3 years. 60 ain't no spring chicken. When you damn near 60 years old, I mean, I'm not really trying to get into the whole respectability politics, but my Lord Jesus, this was the first. Will Packer is probably, he's probably crapping his pants because Will Packer was able to produce the Oscars this year. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of y'all don't know this, but Will Packer and his team, from what I understand, was the first like time they let black people produce the whole Oscars. They had an all black production cast. And in that moment, you get two iconic black men in their 50s, 53-year-old Will Smith and 57-year-old Chris Rock on stage together, and they're scrapping like teenagers. Or Will decides he wants to run up and smack Chris on stage in front of everybody. It's again, I'm not into the respectability politics. I'm not really worried about what white people think, but I think at the same time, I think that we should be concerned about what we think of ourselves. These are two OGs. These are two guys who are supposed to be setting an example. And you have a violence problem in your community. Black men kill each other. Black men beat each other up. Black men. I know a guy who just got out of prison after 30 years because somebody disrespected him and he shot him. He shot him. So his child grew up without a father. His son is 30. He just got out of jail. And because somebody he disrespect me, how you call me out, man, keep my name out your mouth. That's literally what. And then he ended up shooting somebody and got 30 years in prison. So I hope you can hear me when I say, you know, I get it. Yeah, protect black women, absolutely. Yeah, Chris Rock deserved. He probably his jokes were offensive. Yeah, okay, but it doesn't show a lot of mental toughness in my book. I'm trying to figure out what was going on, to make him handle it that way. There's 1,000 ways he could have handled it. So let me keep reading. Here's more comments. I'm reading on Will Smith's personal YouTube channel. This is where your fans are at. And here's another comment. Let's see here. You can sleep with his wife, but you can't make jokes about her. Somebody else says, I can't believe dude is okay with other dudes throwing their hot dogs down her hallway. Okay, that's an interesting way to describe sex. But can't take a simple G.I. Jane joke. No, next comment. You can drop the nice guy act, Will. We know it's fake. Because in the video, the video that I'm looking at where the comments are, it's like a video where he's writing his book and he's got a bunch of authors together and they're debating and discussing, his new memoir. And next one, poor Chris. Nobody stood up for Chris while everybody gave Will Smith a standing ovation. Wow, just wow. Bravo to Chris Rock for keeping his composure and professional. Chris Rock truly is a winner here. John Loney says, let what transpired be a lesson for everybody out there. You can sleep with his wife, but don't tease his wife. So now, mind you, I'm still reading. I'm reading on Will Smith's page. I'm looking for the first. I said I'm going to try to keep reading until I find the first positive comment. I'm literally reading comments one by one by one after the other. I'm not skipping any. I'm looking for one person to say one good thing about him. Let me keep going. Let's see here. Way to go, big man. You assaulted a guy over a joke. Next, embarrassing himself in front of the whole world for a woman who embarrassed him on live television with their son's friend. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whew, yeah, that was just kind of, yeah, yeah. Your son's friend. I mean, sleeping with another woman or another man. I mean, that's bad enough, but you sleeping with the children. I mean, my gosh, your child brings home a friend and the parent is sleeping with them. That's a lot of people have a hard time relating to that. Let's just say that. Um, Next comment. As a man who has struggled with hair loss for years, I find Chris Rock's joke within the scope of typical Oscars roasting type of humor. Most good humor is slightly offensive, and people need to learn to laugh at themselves more. I was see this is where the comments get dangerous. Like I said, he's these are former fans that are saying this. These are people that used to support Will. I was a fan of Will Smith for many years, but no more. He is entitled and disgusting. Maybe letting other guys sleep with his wife has finally made him crack. Back another comment. Imagine if that was The Rock on stage who made that joke. Little Willie would never have left his seat. Enough said. Yeah, he did. He did go after Chris because he was tiny. That was, Chris is not a, remember he played Pookie the crackhead in New Jack City, so he's not exactly a formidable adversary. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done it yet. Hit the thumbs up button, and there's my website, boycewatkins.com. So feel free to join us in the Black Business School, and tomorrow we're going to meet for the book club. Uh, I know some of you are in the Dr. Boyce Book Club, and we meet every Wednesday, and we're reading Dr. Claude Anderson books together, and I'm breaking it down for you and kind of guiding you through the book so you can really, get the richness out of it. So if you'd like to join us for the book club, just go to boycewatkins.com. And you can join the live sessions for free. Now, if you want the archives, just go to drboycebookclub.com. Those aren't free, but the live sessions are free. All right. So anyway, what else? What else is here? Let's see. Next comment. He apologized to Chris Rock on Instagram. What a coward. Again, like I said, I'm looking for the first positive comment about Will Smith on his YouTube channel. I have not yet seen. Now, maybe his fans are hiding. Maybe they just don't want to. Maybe they just don't want to jump out there or whatever. But I'm really curious to see how long it's going to be before somebody makes a positive comment. Another comment. What a humble, respectful man. Sure hope he doesn't slap a comedian for making a joke about his cheating wife. Next comment. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou. Huh. Interesting. Another comment. Everyone should unsubscribe. Can't believe you were partying and dancing after you smacked the host of a respected event. The apology sounded like a publicist wrote it. Oof. Oh my goodness. What do y'all think about that? I mean, do you think that this is long-term damage to Will Smith's reputation, or do you think it'll be water under the bridge? Like you think he can like recover from this? Let's see. Thelma says when Academy, that's responsibility for stirring pots and setting stage for conflicts. It was an award show, not a roasting party. I believe verbal violence exists just as much as physical violence exists. I'm not making one bigger than the other. One, you can do that. Huh. That's an interesting comment, Jay Money. Well, you know what? I don't know, man. I can just tell you, I've had people say terrible shit about me in a major way. I've had people do videos. When Kwame Brown decided to make a bunch of things up about my wife, a person he's never met, he said some pretty horrible stuff, and he was really relentless about it. He would do like 5 or 6 videos a day. I don't know what that dude was, if what he was smoking, like what he was going through, but he did all these videos over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And he was saying things with no basis of information, no basis of fact. Like he didn't even know me. And it was interesting because I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, does this bother you? This guy's, saying these things that are not true and he doesn't know you. And she just kind of laughed about it. And we just kind of kept going. It was like, okay, well, it's just words, and then the thing was, I wanted to actually talk to him directly, not in a physical violence kind of way. I didn't feel like that was necessary. I just wanted to look him in the eye and say, can you tell me like what you were going through? Like, what were you thinking that made you think that all these things you were saying is cool? And I felt like that is important. Like I'm 50. I'm a little younger than Will Smith, and I don't think it's cool for guys our age to just settle stuff as if we are 22 years old, and I can tell you, I don't know, but I don't know Jada. I'm not dissing Jada or anything like that, but I will say I know that if I told my wife I was gonna go slap some guy because he said something bad about us or whatever, she would literally be like, "Boyce, what are you doing? Like, what man did I marry? I did not marry you. I don't want you out here thugging." I think any woman who's encouraging her man to go out here go thugging and go to jail or get killed just to defend her honor, That's not a woman that loves you. I'm sorry, that's not a woman that has your back. That's not a woman, that's not a woman right for you. A woman that loves you wants you to stay alive. A woman that loves you wants you to handle it in a strategic way. A woman that loves you doesn't want you to go ruin your reputation over nonsense. Like, it's one thing if somebody physically assaults your wife, somebody runs up on Jada, grabs her booty. Okay, we get that. We understand the need to put hands on somebody. Somebody runs up, tries to, punch Jada in the face or kidnap her or whatever. We get all that, but it was a stupid joke. It wasn't even a funny joke. That's crazy. I mean, it was not even a fun. So what I really think is going on with Will is I think there's something that could be happening in terms of mental illness or possibly drugs. I'm gonna go put that out there. I really wonder if there's a mental health issue going on or a drug related issue. Um, and it's so shocking because this is a bigger fault than Bill Cosby, like, to me, in my view, because Will was so good at managing his image for 30 years, damn near. I mean, this man's been famous since for about 30 years. He has managed his image like like the biggest pro you've ever seen. And then he climbs all the way to the top of this 30-year mountain and it's all gone like with one damn moment. I'm sad about it, man. I'm really sad because I just I like the way he handled his business. I always thought he did a good job. And I think even when there was like room for redemption, like people are like, okay, oh well, he just had a bad moment. He's gonna go on stage, he's gonna make it right, he's gonna apologize and fix it and all that. He never fixed it at all. He didn't fix it on stage, he didn't fix it on social media, he didn't fix it with his public um, comments and let's see, somebody says years of ridicule bring the worst out of any man. I think it's a one-off. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think years of ridicule. I don't know. I'm wondering why it didn't happen before. Is it because you just knew it had to happen at the Oscars, right when you're getting your first Best Actor Oscar, like Oscar for Best Actor? That's a very big deal, by the way. I think Denzel had to be an actor for a very long time before he got that award. Only about maybe what about 3 or 4 black people have ever gotten Best Actor. So this was a big freaking deal. This is like the biggest night of his entire life. So that's the part that's kind of surprising, right? Let's see. Boyce knows this is stage. Please stop it. Actually, that's an interesting point. The Most High. I watched a body language expert video. I did a video about it. It was so good. I can't remember the guy's channel, but a body language expert analyzed Will's body language, Jada's body language, and Rock's body language, and he said there's no way this was faked. He said a lot of the things Will was doing in terms of what his nostrils were doing, the way he said his words, the way he walked, the way Chris was standing, the way, like, everything. He broke down every little detail for 45 minutes, and he basically said this was not fake. He said sure, you can believe anything's possible, but there's no way this was fake. Let me see here. We know Will isn't stupid, but what he did was so idiotic, just makes you wonder. Yeah, I think something's going on. I wonder if he's losing it. Whew, man, damn. I mean, he went straight Kanye. What's interesting too is like, you know, um, you kind of can't help but wonder if it's again. Okay, so let's go conspiracy theory for a minute. All right, I'm not saying I believe any of this, but I've heard things like this, and I don't think it's out of the question, right? So you know how people would say things like that they did things to try to make sure Muhammad Ali couldn't keep talking because he was such an influence over the world. He was on such a high level, and so next thing you know, Ali, the man who ran his mouth and said pretty much anything that was on his mind, suddenly he can't talk. Now I think it was all them hits to the head. I think he fought for way too long, Larry Holmes and all that, and he saw it coming. He just didn't stop it. But still, it did make you wonder, right? And then Will Smith is a guy who's talked about running for president of the United States. He had the image, he had the love from around the world. He really could actually try to become president if he wanted to. And so it's like, if you think about it, right? It's like, I wonder if it's even doable where somebody could slip a drug into his system or whatever. I'm not saying this is the case. I'm not throwing that out there in terms of believing that this is what actually occurred. but I don't think it should be completely taken off the table. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they took down Cosby. I think Cosby was deliberately taken down, not because he didn't do anything wrong, but because I think they were watching him. And when they're watching you, they have stuff they can sort of hold over your head. So by the way, I believe that Will Smith, hey Timothy, yeah, this is live. I think that Will is gonna be hit with a scandal. Like I think there's gonna be a headline at some point in the near future that says, Will Smith, he had sex with a 12-year-old cat, or something, and or there's just something's gonna come out, right? Stuff's gonna come out, and I think um it's gonna like sort of be the spiral downward of Will Smith. Like it's gonna be like, on the cover of Time magazine with some devastating image of him, and but he can't be Mr. Popularity forever. He's been popular for 30 years. I hope he has other investments in projects where his face isn't the number one asset, and I think that he's probably in that position. I'm hoping he's financially secure. I'm going to believe that he is. He's a very smart guy. I told you I don't know Will, but I know his brother, Harry, and I talked to his brother Harry for many hours, and I like the guy. He was a cool dude to talk to. So anyway, let me keep reading more. I'm gonna read more of the comments. Hit the thumbs up button, by the way. If you could hit the thumbs up button. All right. Let's see here. Next comment. Will Smith laughed at the joke, but his boss Jada didn't like it. So she barked and Will bit. Next comment. Jada is effing toxic. She has no honor to defend. Will you for Will for your sake, I hope you see the light and leave her. Otherwise, she's gonna ruin you like Bobby did to Whitney. Next comment on Will Smith's YouTube channel. This is crazy. Like I said, I told you all at the beginning. I'm reading until I find a positive comment. I've been reading. I've gone through like 20 of them, 25 or something. Next one. Will can't take a joke, but Chris can take a slap. Next comment. I'm not sure I can ever watch a movie with him in it again without being disgusted. Next comment. Imagine having a bald wife and non-human looking kids. No wonder Will is so pissed. Okay, this it's funny, but okay. Well, let me keep going. Um, Next question. Honestly, what you did was despicable, and the fact that you'll be able to get away with what you did just shows what an unfair world we all live in. Who the hell do you think you are to talk about love and the good in the world after having physically assaulted a person in front of millions of people? Next comment. The fact that Chris Rock didn't sue you for that, why would you do your friend like that if it's just a G.I. Joe joke? Or it was G.I. Jane, actually. He was laughing until his wife gave him a look. Unbelievable. Next comment. I'm a work in progress. He's a jerk in progress. Next comment. Hey, Will, why don't you try to slap The Rock instead of Chris Rock? I heard The Rock copied your wife's hairstyle. Ooh. Oh, ouch, ouch. That's dang. That stung a little bit. Dang. Ooh, okay. Will Smith is a modern definition of privileged entitlement. If he is a strong, honorable man, he'd give the Oscar back. He won't. Next comment. I've literally lost all my respect for this man. Didn't even apologize to Chris Rock, the legend, during his acceptance speech, and went to party afterwards. Doesn't have the courage to slap the men who sleep with his wife, so he went up and slapped a helpless Rock. Next comment. In one point in his speech, Will mentioned how you have to be able to put up with the abuse in the business and smile throughout and pretend everything's okay. Ironically, that is what Chris Rock did. Huh. Next comment. Unsubscribed because of the slap. He is still a teenage kid acting mature. And that's one thing I want y'all to just kind of consider. You know, remember Will Smith is 53 years old. 53 years old. He's not 43. He's not 33. He's not 23. If he was 33, he would be too old for this shit. 53, you're supposed to know better. Chris Rock's 57. Chris Rock is going to be 60 years old in 3 years. Why in the world are we proud to have two black men who are supposed to be leaders and icons in the community who are almost senior citizen age, a decade, less than a decade from being senior citizens, Why do we want them up there scrapping like a couple of 21-year-old dudes with no education, no strategic thinking, about to go to jail, about to be thrown away, taken out of societies, taken to prison and raped and everything else? Like, I mean, why would you even cheer for that? Why do you even cheer? You know, have we gotten so dysfunctional that we cheer for black men breaking the law? I mean, I get it. You know, you have situations where violence is necessary, but aren't y'all tired of it? I mean, are we ever going to get tired of the violence in our community? Are we going to get tired of seeing black men going, going to prison for, uh, because somebody disrespected you, somebody stepped on your foot in the club. Next thing you know, somebody done got killed. Because that's the thing, violence escalates. So you think it's just a slap. You know, you in the club, he step on your shoe, or he said something about you, so you walk over and smack him. Well, he punches you. Well, you pull out a knife. He pulls out a gun. Next thing you know, everybody's dead, and the kids ain't got no daddy. And the kids are looking at the daddies like, damn, did you even stop for a moment to even consider the implications of your actions and how your actions are going to affect all the people who need you and love you? I just talked the other day to a guy who just I'm sorry, I didn't talk to him. I'm sorry. I know his family. I know his son. His son's 30. He just got out of jail. He went to prison when his son was 2, all because somebody disrespected him in the club and he had to go kill him. He had to do something because the streets is watching. The streets is watching. He had to respond. Well, he had 30 years to think about that moment. I don't know. I mean, do y'all think it's worth it? I don't think it's worth it. And I just really think that when these two guys get involved in that stuff, on the biggest stage in the world, I think a lot of people are watching. Younger guys are looking at this. They're saying, "Oh, well, if Will Smith can do it, then I can do it. I should do it. That's how I'm supposed to handle everything." And I don't like it, man. I just don't. You know. And I think the people that love Will were looking for opportunities for Will to redeem himself. Like they were looking for an excuse to forgive him. They were like, "Look, man, just say something. Say something that makes some sense. Take some responsibility." And I think that what a lot of people were feeling is they felt a tremendous amount of entitlement where, he didn't want to leave the Oscars. They told him to leave. He said, I'm not leaving. Sat in the front row, got best picture, or not best, I'm sorry, best actor. Went up, gave a speech where he pretty much defended everything he did, which, I mean, no responsibility whatsoever, no accountability at all. It was a textbook example of exactly how you don't handle a PR crisis. But then again, maybe he doesn't care. Maybe something's going on. You never know. For all I know, he could have went to the doctor, and the doctor could have told him he was dying. He just said, "I'm gonna live my life the way I want to live it." I'm tired of the charade. I don't know, because people in Hollywood, they do that. Whitney Houston, that poor lady. She spent many years pretending to be something that she wasn't. Bill Cosby spent many years pretending to be something that he wasn't. So maybe Will Smith is just saying, "Look, I'm gonna be the real Will Smith. I'm the guy that's gonna come up and slap you if you tell a joke I don't like." I thought it was also funny, interesting, because Will Smith isn't quite a comedian, but he's done a lot of comedic acting, and I noticed that a lot of comedians are offended by the idea that comedians that they can get assaulted for telling a joke. All the comics are mad at Will, like all the comedians, everybody from Wanda Sykes to, what was another? The only one I saw that stood by him was Tiffany Haddish, but I don't know. She's kind of a person that's gonna support her powerful friends, but most of the other comedians, Jim Carrey and a lot of the black comedians, are just kind of like, this ain't cool. Um, I think Wanda Sykes said, yeah, he should have been taken out. He should have been escorted out. So let me keep reading. Actually, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, so let's see here. And there's my website, boycewatkins.com. So if you ever want to know what we got going on, go to my website. We have good stuff happening. We'll be meeting for the book club tomorrow. Um, Damn, I never would have known. I never would have I known that the Oscars were going on and about Jada's hair loss and the fact that she literally admitted that she cheated on Will. If he hadn't slapped Chris on that joke about his wife, while he literally never did anything about when this same wife of his was being banged by a young rapper. Damn, that was kind of mean. Next comment on Will Smith's YouTube channel. Remember I told you I'm gonna keep reading until I find a positive comment. I have not found one yet. I've been reading for like 29 minutes and 44 seconds now. Will Smith's rage stems from the fact that he's so under Jada's thumb and he's really embarrassed because she cheated on him. Like, why would you even defend her after she did to you with her nonsense about entanglement? She really took a shit on you, man. What's wrong with you? And you should have kicked her to the curb. And now, look, you sabotaged your career, and people have now taken a serious disliking to you, and you've lost all that respect. Next comment. Remember, kids, when someone says words you don't like, assault them physically from your friendly neighborhood role model. Next comment. Big man slapping someone in the face while he has his arms down and telling jokes is just childish and cowardly. You remember jokes, right? You should be banned from all the award shows here on out for assault. Sad man with issues, boo hoo. Sort them out at home and with yourself. Don't bring that kind of crap on television. We already have enough of that. Next comment on this is now these are a lot of former Will Smith fans. That's what's crazy about it. I know in the black community, just in case y'all want to know, I did do a survey, and I think that you guys were like 68% of you were on Chris Rock's side, 32% of you, supported Will and agreed with him. And I mean, if you're talking about just defending black women, yeah, I agree with defending black women, but I don't think a good black woman would tell you to go up and slap somebody because he made a joke, a stupid joke. Now, if he was harassing and following you around, stalking you, or something like that, then maybe that's different. But one quick, stupid little joke, and it's the biggest night of your life. I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you. I can just say this: I'm married to a beautiful black woman, and if I told her I was gonna go up on stage on the biggest night of my life, when our family's about to hit the pinnacle of our success, she would look at me like I was crazy if I decided to do something like that. She'd be like, "No, boy, you don't do that. That's immature. You're 50." So that I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Like there's more than one way to skin the cat, right? So we all agree in protecting black women, but you don't have to protect black women like you're a thug. Anybody remember like when it was real popular for women to say they wanted like a corporate thug? Like, I want a guy who can put a business suit on in the daytime and be a thug at night. That was like some bullshit. That all came out of hip hop. That all came out literally. That came from hip hop, where we started glorifying gangster rappers and glorifying the stuff that gets men murdered and sent to prison. And that was stupid. It was like, so I can't just be a smart guy and a kind man and defend my family. I gotta be a thug. Like, really, I gotta be Tupac now. Really, I don't want to be Tupac. Tupac is not the only model of what a black man can be. Like, there's plenty of great men who don't want to thug out every single day. They don't want. They ain't trying to like go to jail, get shot, go kill people, go murder the neighbor. Like, seriously, there are good black men, quality men, who get overlooked because they're not willing to thug it out. And I don't know. I just really think if a woman cares about you, she's not gonna put you in that situation anyway. That's just my 2 cents. Now, let's see. Lady M says he's not reading Will Smith support. Let me tell you the truth, actually, Lady M. I have read every single comment, one after the other. I'm looking for a comment that's positive. On Will Smith's YouTube channel, there are no positive comments. I'm reading every single one of them. There's like 10,000 of them, but I'm just reading from the top. But literally every single one of them is negative. I can't find a positive comment. So that's just the truth. Let me see here. Somebody said, Boyce Watkins, you cannot a woman what type of man to like. You cannot tell. Oh, tell women what kind of man to like. That's true. That's true. But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of women go chasing the wrong men. They chasing the men who look flashy and sound good. Next thing you know, you a single mama. You're raising that baby by yourself. You better find you a man that got some values. You better find a man that wants to be a dad. You better go find a man that cares about family. Because a lot of y'all chasing good penis, and next thing you know, you a baby's mama. So hey, it's up to you. But I encourage you to be strategic about whoever you bring into your life. Some people think about family. Some people just do whatever they want to do. Some people don't take responsibility for anything. I'm not saying Will Smith's in that category, but this does. I mean, this whole idea of a woman wanting you to go run up on stage at the Oscars and slap somebody because he told a joke. I wouldn't want to be married to a woman like that. So anyway, let me keep reading. Let's see. Next comment. I'm literally reading directly down. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm playing a little game. I'm gonna keep going until I find one positive comment about Will on his website. Next comment. Disappointing Will. You had every opportunity to take the mic and defend your wife's honor with words. Assaulting is a crime. What are you teaching our youth? Next comment. What a disappointment. You should be ashamed of what you did to Chris. Next comment. Some might argue that Will was defending his wife, this and that. We all saw her laughing when the jokes are at the expense of others. People can take a joke about terminal diseases. Jada, grow a spine, will you? Next comment. Imagine hitting a guy for making jokes about your wife, but letting the guy who smashes her wear your house shoes. Ooh, damn, that was mean. Next comment. How to win an Oscar and get yourself canceled in a single night. Respect to Chris Rock for handling it like a champ. Respect to Jim Carrey for standing up for what's right. Next comment. What I learned from Will Smith: if you act for a living but assault someone in reality, everyone will pretend you are in character and give you an Oscar. Oh damn, no, that's kind of funny. Thank you, Will Smith. Thank you for showing me what kind of person you truly are. Have you ever heard the term sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me? It is truly sad that in your life you have learned to lash out in anger. No one is perfect, but to assault another person for what they say is ignorant. I will never pay to see or waste my time watching your movies again. Next comment. I used to like you, dude. The world is with Chris now. Me too. Next comment. Came here to see if anyone was calling him out for what he did at the Oscars. Glad to see he is getting put on blast for it. Next comment. Receiving award after slapping comedian in the Academy is the real joke, and giving a speech about love after hurting someone is a plasticity. Next comment. I reconsidered. I do have more to say. Hey, Will Smith, the world couldn't eat without farmers, fishermen, or ranchers. Many people in the world couldn't survive without tradesmen to build and maintain shelter and transportation. Okay, where's he going with this? Actors are most definitely not needed in society at all. Actors in reality contribute nothing at all except cheap entertainment, and I can get that from watching my dog chase his tail in the backyard. Okay. Disappointed in you, William Smith, for slapping Chris Rock. Would you have done it if it was a white brother who made the same joke? That's a good question. What do y'all think? What if Jerry Seinfeld had made that joke? Do you think that Will Smith would have walked up and slapped Jerry Seinfeld? Um, that's one question. Second question: do you think that Jerry? But here's the other thing too. The other side of that though is I don't think Jerry Seinfeld would have made that kind of joke about Jada's hair anyway, right? Like that was like a personal joke. I don't think it's worth getting slapped for, but it is different, right? So I think that we kind of have a natural vitriol toward one another that we don't have toward white folks. When Master's in the room, we're a little more polite. But when we get with each other, it's like I'm slapping you, and I'm gonna make personal jokes about you and your alopecia, and all of that, right? So the joke definitely didn't have to be said, but the reaction was definitely over the top. Next, okay, I'm gonna keep reading. I've read through probably 50, 60 comments on Will Smith's YouTube channel. I have not seen one positive one yet. Let me keep going. Next one, praying for all who cannot leave a toxic relationship with a narcissist. Next comment, so glad he's able to get away with assaulting someone on live TV. Aren't celebrities just great? A normal person would have been arrested. Perhaps he should be to remind him that he isn't above the law just because he's famous. Next comment. I mean, he definitely had the right to be upset. By all means, he had the right to be angry, but I really didn't expect him to literally go on stage and slap Chris, then yell at him. Like, it's hard to believe he'd do that in front of an entire audience. Everybody was watching him. That's insane. Will, I used to be a huge fan. You were a role model to the youth. Unfortunately, you destroyed that forever with your violent outbursts at the angers. I mean, at the Oscars. A white man would not be forgiven for hitting Chris Rock. Why is it okay for you to do so? Oh, that's another dynamic, right? Like, what if a white guy had walked up and slapped Chris Rock? Like, what if it had been, Mel Gibson or something like that? It's funny because that now that's an interesting dynamic, right? Because people would be saying that like that was racism and that white guy went up and attacked a black man. It's a hate crime, like so all of that. I mean, all of that is just really interesting to think about, right? Or a white female if she had gone up and done that, it'd be like a Karen moment, right? Um, so race matters. Like race and gender matter. People respond to things differently based on the race of the perpetrator, the race of the victim. Like if that had been a white woman and a black man had gone up on a white woman. Well, Kanye did that with Taylor Swift, and you saw the reaction with that. But he didn't hit her. He just went up and grabbed the mic from her. Let's see here. Next comment. How wonderful it is for Will to share his love and wife with everybody. Damn, wow. Next comment. I'm addicted to the approval of others. Backfired. You have gained my disapproval forever. Turn ghetto right in front of all of our eyes. Next comment. If only Will could take a joke. Jada takes other men. Oh, man. Next comment. The thing is, it's up to an individual how hurt they feel when someone says words. You have no choice about what injury is caused when you are physically hit, including possible death. Okay. The arrogance of this man is appalling. There is a coward man who don't have the guts to confront his wife's boyfriend, but vents his anger to other people. Don't be like this chicken. Next comment. Jada still loves Tupac. Will can't handle his emotions. Always been weird after Fresh Prince. You and your woman are crazy swingers. Chris Rock should have counterclocked you. Next comment. Will, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Chris, you have to keep your wife's mouth off of me. Oh, damn. Ow. Ouch. Ouch. Ooh, ow. That was, ooh, okay. All right. Good Lord Jesus. Next comment. Going from laughing open mouth to slapping him who made the joke shows some kind of F in the brain. This was awful, Will. Not that I cared about you, but I certainly thought better of you. Next comment. So nice of Will to defend Jada when August couldn't be there himself at the Oscars. Next comment. Chris Rock did not take a slap, but also didn't press any charges yet on Will, well knowing Chris, he probably won't because he has some respect, unless unlike Will over here smacking a man because of a woman who cheated on him in August. Like what the hell, man? Okay, that was bad grammar. Next comment. They are actors. Problem is us. We make the role models. Actors, sweepers, doctors, gods, demons should not be role models. Just watch and enjoy their work. It's something our Hinduism. Okay, that's a weird comment. Next comment. I think a proper apology is in order. Chris Rock may have offended your family, but how you handled it, it's not going to age well. Next comment. You know you got to give it to Chris Rock. He kept his word and kept Jada's name out of his mouth. Now if Jada could just keep other men out of hers. Ooh, these comments are mean. Um, the next comment. Moments like the Oscars is why I wish the dislike counter was still active. Next comment. Jada and her boyfriend must be so proud of you. Next comment. After slapping someone over a joke, you claimed you only wanted to be a vessel of love. While your peers have been working to raise the bar, you lowered it. Way to be an example, Will. Next comment. You did not protect your family. You have dishonored them. You have shown violence to the world as a solution. In the words of Mama Jew, and do what you say and do, you are doing in front of the world for men, women, children, mothers, daughters, and fathers. You are not doing it for yourself. People, whether you want them to look to or not, look up to you. What you do sets an example for people. It's not just about you and your family. This is the responsibility of fame. Don't hide behind Jada's disease. What you did was wrong. Next comment. If Chris Rock moved his head just a little more, Will Smith would have missed and fell over. Oh, the masculinity to his wife then. Okay. As one of Jada's boyfriends, I really do appreciate Will standing up for my boo boo. Oh, damn, that was kind of mean too. That was the real integrity move. Hats off. You need help, sir. And if you think you don't need it, you need it even more. Next comment. Will Smith slaps Chris Rock, then refuses to leave when asked. You can't teach anyone anything because you can't see your own privilege. Any other person would have been subjected to the cops, cuffs, and charges. Pathetic. So I've literally sat here and read probably 60 or 70 comments on Will Smith's YouTube channel. Not one of them has been positive. Not one. I think it's okay for people to have whatever perspective they want to have. I think that all of us agree as intelligent black people that black women should be supported, respected, and protected. But also as intelligent black people, we also agree um, that thinking strategically is very important, especially when you're black. And we also agree that as much as black women deserve to be respected and protected, we need women to also respect and protect us in a certain way too. And again, I go back to that basic idea that if I told my wife I was going to go up on stage and slap somebody because they said something about her, she would look at me like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? Like that voice, that is not the way to handle this. And and I don't know Will Smith's life, and I understand he's got a lot of pressure. The poor guy, he's going through a lot. But when you're out here and you're public, especially if your relationship is public, do y'all know how much shit me and Alicia got when I announced publicly that I was gonna marry this woman? Like seriously, like like that. I love my baby. We we decided we wanted to tell people about our relationship because we believe in black love. I'm not just out here talking about it. I think black love and black men and women loving each other and finding ways to work our shit out and being good families. That's the key to our wealth. That's why our wealth is all messed up. It's because our families are broken. You can't build wealth in broken families. You just can't. So we talk about our relationship a lot. And when I proposed to her and I got on one knee, I deliberately shared that video because I wanted everybody to see a black man getting on his knee to honor a black woman. Like I just felt like that's important because I get tired of people disrespecting black women and acting like they ain't worth the same love that white women get. I hate that shit. Y'all deserve the fairy tale too. Y'all deserve to have a man that's really devoted to you also. I don't like this pimp and hoes culture. I don't like this whole, how you ain't gotta respect you, none of these hoes. That's stupid. That's that BS that they put in your hip hop music. They poison your Kool-Aid. They poisoned your music and made you think that terms like "we don't love them hoes" that you're supposed to apply that to everybody. I'm sorry. You got some real quality women who are real quality people who really will love your raggedy ass, will love your dirty drawers, will be loyal to you, will raise your kids right, and do right by you. And those women don't deserve to get treated like hookers. They don't get the. They don't. You don't put everybody in the same category. And so I did that, right, and I talked about our relationship publicly, and I shared that, and I don't regret shit. I don't regret a damn thing I did. I take none of it back at all, ever, not one iota of it. And I did it because y'all need to understand this. You're talking about getting out here trying to get money. You're talking about the white man having his foot on your neck. The number one thing he stole from you was he stole your family. When he stole your families, he stole your wealth. He stole your self-respect. He stole the safety of your children. He stole the integrity of your community, and he replaced it with nothing but chaos. So that's why I did it. But let me just tell y'all a little secret. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Again, I'm not Will Smith caliber. I'm not at his level. I'm not. White people don't like me as much as they used to like Will Smith. I've never been accepted in those spaces, but I'm out there. People like Will Smith do know who I am. I get calls from celebrities all the time. They follow my work. They know I keep it real. They know I'm serious about what I do. So they give me that respect. That's why every now and then you'll see a celebrity on this platform. But here's the deal. In my world, when I did that, when I went out and just made the basic claim, like, look, here's a black woman. I'm gonna honor her publicly, whatever. Do you know how many times I got called a simp online? It was like a whole simping industry. Suddenly, all these guys came out of the woodwork calling me a simp. And I'm like, but I'm more courageous than you'll ever be. So what in the world makes you think you got the right to call me a simp? Because I love a black woman? I'm looking at them like, what the hell's wrong with you? You need to get the therapy, bro, and figure out why you hate your mother so much that you think black women are not worth receiving the best of you. If you can't love black people and hate the black woman at the same time, because then you hate yourself because you came out of the womb of a black woman, you asshole. Seriously. So my position on that was like, I didn't care. I saw the simp talk. It upset me a little because it was like, man, these are guys I used to vouch for, guys I respected. I followed their channels. I would have helped them. I would have done anything for them. But now you're trying to call me a simp because I love a black woman? No, well, you know what? You can believe what you're going to believe. I'm not going to take that away from you. But if you think you're going to knock me off that pedestal 1 inch, you in for a huge, huge awakening, brother. You're not knocking me off of that. And I'm gonna give you a lesson on manhood. Manhood means sticking by your guns, even if the whole world is against you, even if everybody disagrees and a bunch of people don't understand. Whatever. You're not knocking me off that perch. But here's the deal. All that was out there, and I had to remember these are just words. And a lot of these words were coming from people who were like half my age. It was coming from like 20, 26 year olds, like, okay, yeah, when I was 26, maybe I would have thought the same thing. right? It was coming from ignorant people. It was coming from people that came from fucked up families. It was coming from guys that have issues with their mama and never resolve those issues. And I had to just take it in stride. And then, and again, this is all relating to Will Smith in terms of somebody talking bad about your wife. So then I had people like Kwame Brown and others who were going and spreading really toxic rumors about my wife. My wife is a college professor who ain't never been out in the streets. She ain't out here, she ain't got no crazy past. She ain't been dating rappers or nothing. She's a regular black woman who lived a regular life and got married. And for some reason, people decided they wanted to bring her into the fold and start talking about her. And one of the things I had to explain to her was I said, I hate the fact that this is happening, but how are you doing, number one? And number two, this does come with the territory. We have a public relationship, so people are going to say things. So if you look through the internet, you'll find a bunch of crazy videos with people saying all kinds of crazy stuff about my wife. And you know what me and my wife do? We laugh about it. We don't even really see most of it, but if we do see it, it's like, wow, people think that Willie D was in my wedding. Willie D from the Ghetto Boys. Me and Willie D are really good friends. I'm like, wow, people think that Willie D was in my wedding so that you and Willie D could get together, that you really got with me so you could secretly get to Willie D. So she makes jokes about it. She laughs about it. Right. But again, remember, I could easily take a different approach. I could go and, find the dude who said it and slap him at find him at an event. There was I had times where like one, like me and Kwame Brown were at the exact same conference, and and people were like, "Whoa, y'all gonna be at the same conference?" I was like, "Yeah, but I'm not scared to talk to him. If he wants to talk to me man to man, I'll talk to him. But I'm not looking to run up and slap anybody, because there are a million different ways that you can handle things that don't involve you regressing to become 21-year-olds again or 18-year-olds, right? So my point is to say, I'm really sharing a lot on this, I guess, because it's the middle of the night and I just feel like kind of talking about it and being honest. But I don't understand needing to go slap somebody. I just don't get it. I don't understand slapping somebody at the Oscars, slapping another iconic comedian right in front of the whole world, especially with Jada. I'm not gonna lie, from what I know about Jada and what I saw with the Red Table Talk, Alicia and I were watching this because and again, me and Alicia do our pillow talk, right? So we have a little joint podcast. But if there was ever an entanglement in our relationship, we would not be doing a podcast about it. We're not so desperate to get your attention that we're going to talk about our deeply, deeply, deeply personal relationship problems in public. I didn't like that episode. I figured maybe there's a reason why. Maybe something's about to be revealed and they're trying to protect, some wealth or something. I don't know. But I was like, why are they doing this red table talk and talking about August Alsina and talking about the fact that Jada slept with one of her children's friends? That's not a good look. That doesn't look good on her, you know. And so then for Will to go to the Oscars and slap Chris Rock again after laughing at the joke, and after um the entanglement conversation, which didn't make him look good. I didn't get it. It didn't add up. And it was confusing to me also because I have so much respect for the way Will Smith has conducted himself as a professional. I have a lot of respect for his family. His brother, I talked to his brother Harry for hours. They are so smart. His brother was super smart and great to talk to, and just a wonderful guy. And I said, this is a great family. They come from a really solid family. And then to see him kind of, break down the way that he did, um, was just kind of weird. Anyway, I'll look at some of your comments. Let me see here. Simpin' Ain't Easy by Boyce Watkins is one of the realest quotes I've ever heard. Simpin' ain't easy. That's funny. Let me see here. Wow, every time I see you and your wife, she looks younger and more beautiful. Thank you, Kimberly. I'm gonna tell her you said that. And I'm proud to be a husband. I feel like being a husband and a father is such an honor in the sense that it's like, you're like, I feel like it's awesome. And this is just something to share with like anybody who's thinking about doing this type of thing. It's like you got your own little kingdom. You got the children, you have the assets, you're making plans together, you got a great teammate. it's a really cool experience. I mean, just do it. Two pieces of advice I would give is one, pick the right person. Really vet people you let into your life. A lot of people don't do that. I have to do that because I'm a public figure. Because I have snakes. Sometimes I gotta weed the snakes out of out of my space because I get people that come in that kind of want to take things and whatever. And then women, the women were all around. Like, when I got rich and famous or whatever, they were all trying to like get close to me or whatever. And so you have to be really careful and thoughtful and kind of vet that out. And then also you have to be willing to like work really hard on the relationship and make sure that you're working with somebody who wants to work hard. If you're trying to get therapy and all that stuff, and you're dealing with somebody who doesn't want to do any of those things, it's very, very difficult to do. So, just make sure you do that. But because if you're not ready to do it, then I wouldn't suggest getting married. I think marriage is hard, and it's not worth it if you're gonna just get a divorce like right after. So you have to be ready to like do all the stuff necessary to make it work. It's very difficult to do. Let me see here. Mister says she has already said Will needs a red table talk before he goes public. Okay. Oh, she already said that. Jada did. Yeah, the idea that they're going to flip this into a red table talk. I hope they don't do it, but they probably will. Who knows? How bad would it look if Chris Rock was a woman or an old man and Will Smith did that? Oh, it looked even worse than it does. People are always so concerned with what everyone thinks. Yeah, well, I mean, that's how they got famous. They got famous by um, getting people to think a certain way about them, and then they make money from that, right? So Will has made about probably several $100 million by now, maybe $1 billion by now, by getting people to like him, right? So it's not just like I want you to like me so that I can feel good about myself. It's like if you like me, you'll buy my movie ticket, which means that me and my family get to live in a 50,000 square foot house. You understand what I mean? So this is real money on the line. Like likability in Hollywood is critical. Like that can be translated to a real financial asset. So Will probably lost a good $250 million with that slap. Jada was laughing and enjoying Will slapping Chris Rock instead of stopping her husband from throwing away his career. Yeah, like my wife, I asked her about that. I said, "What would you do if I told you?" I think me and my wife did a whole like episode of Pillow Talk about it. And I said, "What would you do if I just went off and decided I was gonna run up on stage and slap somebody?" She told me not only would she stop me, but she would literally question me as a man, like because that's just bad judgment. She'd be like, "What are you doing? Like you're trying to wreck our family." So again, I want to say this without criticizing Will too much, but I don't think I can't imagine Will looking back at this and thinking like this was my best hour and this was the right move. I just don't believe he feels that way. Let me see here. Jada looks like Baraka from Mortal Kombat. Okay. All right, I'm not gonna laugh about that because hair is very sensitive. August was not Jaden's friend. Well, I think August was friends with one of the kids. I don't think I think they took him in like they were mentoring him or something. Like, yeah, but he wasn't their peer. August was not born in the 1970s. He's probably born in like 1990 98 or something. Um, that word though, and her husband corrected her on the use of it, and she admitted it was an affair. Oh, he's talking about entanglement. Okay. Will was just spreading the love of God upside Rock's head. Okay. Let's see. Most diverse Oscar of 90, the 94th was also the most violent. Yeah, that was really bad. Will Packer and his team, who did a great job, they were an all black production team for the Oscars. They never had that before. And it ended up just kind of being a disaster. So a lot of people are feeling embarrassed about that. I don't really get into that as much. I don't think we have to get into the respectability politics of it all, in terms of what white people think. Black people are very diverse. And if they can't understand that, then that's their problem. And honestly, I think black people probably have to get away from the Oscars anyway. Like, I don't think, like, the Academy, I read the whole history of the Academy, where it came from. And it's just some shit white people made up in the 1940s. Like, the executives said, okay, let's create some stupid award that we can give actors and actresses so that they won't ask us for more money, right? Because like we can give them self-esteem instead of giving them actual money. And so you can create an award show, right? So I hope that we do that on our own. And the sad thing about Chris Rock and Will Smith kind of scrapping like that is that these are the types of iconic individuals that can actually develop black institutions like the Oscars, where we have our own award shows, that so that we're not necessarily having to go to whatever white people are doing. And also at the All Black National Convention, we actually have an award show there. We give out a lot of awards. Dr. Claude Anderson got an award. Vicky Dillard got an award. Riza Islam. We give awards out to black businesses. So we do have an award show. We have a whole gala. We have speed dating at the convention. So by the way, if you want to get your tickets for the convention, you can go to boycewatkins.com or allblacknationalconvention.com. It's going to be between October 28th and October 30th in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's really great. It's great for connecting and seeing other black people that are just like you, people that think like you, people that want, to have healthy, happy families and a solid black community. The energy is super, super positive. And anybody who was there, you should just ask them. Like anybody in the chat who was there, like mention it in the chat so other people can hear your testimony. But I didn't find one single person who didn't love the All Black National Convention. It was really good. Let me see here. The bullying on the show was just so the execs could play it. You actually believe there was a Caruso. Okay, looks like y'all having a whole separate conversation. Dr. Boyce wouldn't have turned the other cheek. Yeah, that I'm gonna tell you, I gotta give it up to Chris Rock for being able to maintain his discipline in that moment. That is when his professionalism got tested to the fullest. As a black man, another man, you 57 years old, and another black man comes up and slaps you like you are a child. And you're 57, you're a grandfather. Like you're a grandfather with like teenage grandchildren. Like that's how old Chris Rock is. Like he's, you know, to have that happen and for him to have the restraint that he had, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. But here's a little secret for those of you that are brand building or building business, all that. Let me tell you what Chris did that was really intelligent. Chris never lost his magic. He remembered what his strength is. See, different people have different strengths when it comes to branding, entertainment, whatever. Some people, their strength might be that they're really good looking. For some people, their strength could be that they're a great singer. So, like when R. Kelly first got caught, back in 2001, 2002, with the whole sex tape scandal, the first one, for all he kept saying was, listen to my music, just focus on my music. So he would come out with great music that would make people forget about the debaucherous shit that he was doing, in his personal life, right? Or if you're a great basketball player, you go out when you win another championship, people forget about whatever you did off the court. So everybody has their magic, right? So Will Smith, his magic is in his charisma. Will Smith is just a really great guy. He's a nice guy. He's fun loving. He's cool. He seems cool to hang out with. Will lost his magic. Will decided to become like gangster, and that was completely in like disconnected from the mood of the night. Whereas Chris kept his magic. Chris's magic, his superpower is comedy. His superpower is comedy. So when he went through his little thing, he went backstage. He made a joke about it. He, in the awkwardness or whatever, I think he said something like, he said, that's the only time you can get hit by Muhammad Ali and it don't even leave a scratch. So he made a joke about it. And then he went to Boston and he did his show. His show totally sold out. Like all the tickets, like the ticket prices went crazy. They sold a lot of tickets. So he's making a lot of money from this. The first thing he did, he went on stage and he just asked everybody, he said, "So how was your weekend?" So I thought that was like, so the thing is like, that's what so if you're a comedian, you got to keep your magic. You go through some crazy shit, you make a joke about it. You use your strength to defuse a situation or whatever, or to flip it to your advantage. Or if you're a great singer, you sing a song about it. If you're a great rapper, you go rap about it. If you're a great basketball player, you go win a championship. For me, my superpower is that I'm very intelligent, right? So if I get together and if I get out here and I start really breaking things down and analyzing things, then I can actually kind of shift the conversation if I need to, because I'm able to see things, because my strength is my brain, right? But my strength is not comedy. I'm not a thug. I'm not a rapper. I'm not Mr. Charisma. I'm not a good singer. So if I tried to do anything that was outside of my superpower, I probably wouldn't do very well. But when I sit down and I do my Dr. Boyce thing, where because I'm a black man, I'm deeply analytical. Like that's what a lot of intelligent black people appreciate. Like so that allows me to kind of address things in a way that reminds people of what they like about you. You understand? So I think Chris has handled it well because he's reminded people of what they like about him. Whereas I think Will has brought this whole other person that people are like, who the fuck is that? They're like, we don't know that guy. We know the Fresh Prince. We don't know the guy, who's getting mad and cussing people out and whatever. Like we don't know what that is at all. So he's lost some of his magic. And somebody, one of the body language experts, mentioned something that was real interesting about the um the Richard Williams character, and he claimed that when Will went up on stage to go after Chris, that he had the same facial expression that he had when he played King Richard. That part I don't know because I think that just might be Will's like mean mugging face, like when he's mad or whatever. I don't, but I thought that was interesting too. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I just wanted to hang out and talk for a little bit. And if you want my conclusion, Will Smith has a big problem. I literally reread through 70 comments on his YouTube channel. None of them were positive. Almost all of them were negative. White people are mad at him. When white people get mad at you, it's real hard to do well in Hollywood. White people have been mad at me my whole life, so I say join the club. Congratulations. Will, you if you listen to this video, you can come on Dr. Boyce TV. I'd love to have you. You and Bill Cosby and all the other black people that have been kicked out of the establishment. I still respect him. I think that he's still a guy that is super smart and he's done well for himself. He had 30 years on top, and he'll probably come back. I think he's gonna make a comeback. I'm sure they're plotting something or whatever, um, but I don't want you to think that because I critiqued his behavior that night that I don't like this guy. I love him for making King Richard. That movie is really good. Everybody should watch it. I love his family, his brother. It was great to talk to, and they're super smart. They are intelligent black people. I love the fact that he talks about black folks and includes blackness in the work that he's trying to do. I think he's an asset to the community. So I'm not into throwing him out the window. I just would like to understand more about why he threw his opportunity out the window. It's the biggest night of your Oscar life. You've been going to the Oscars for 30 years. You never got a Best Actor award. I don't even know how many times he was nominated for Best Actor. I mean, that I just don't get it. I really don't get it. So anyway, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. My website is boycewatkins.com. We're gonna do the book club tomorrow night. We couldn't do it tonight because I was flying back from Alaska. I was there in Alaska with my daughter. We had such a good time, and we went to these ice caves and it was a lot of crazy weather. That's me. I'm actually in a hot spring. It's literally 25 degrees outside, and the springs are so hot that literally it doesn't feel that way. Like it feels complete. It feels like really good. I don't know if you've ever been to a hot spring before, but we jumped into the hot spring, so it's literally freezing outside. It's like 25 degrees outside, and I'm in the pool. I never thought I would ever do anything that crazy. I thought that stuff was only for white people. And these are the dogs. Like I have to show you all the video of me. I rode a dog sled, and so we went to this lady's house, and she had like 30 dogs, and all of them were like bred to pull dog sleds. So dog sledding is like a big thing in Alaska, as you can imagine. So I had a really good time out there, and that's me. That's me and my daughter Monique out at a nice cave. So see that big hole right there. So there's a hole in the glacier where you can walk inside the glacier, and so that's a picture of inside the ice cave. That's another angle from inside the cave right there. And then this is just me acting stupid. So anyway, guys, I hope you all have a good night. God bless you. Um, talk to you. And Lady M says, Will don't need you, brother. No, he does not. Will does not need me, and you don't need me either. All right. So anyway, y'all have a good night. I love you, and I will see you soon. And I hope you guys have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye bye.